But there have been big new developments. They just went ahead and pressured HEB to completely just say no more gun shows, period, in that building. It's over, Austin. The place you've gone for close to 20 years at least to have gun shows, it's over. They also had a staged arrest where they arrested some guy and then released him there on the spot and let him back in. It looked staged, at least by the police. And that's why HEB is saying, well, after the arrest, which wasn't an arrest, it's just over. It's over. It's over. And so they can do this with other businesses. They can do this with your rights. No law, no regulation. They are God, at least if we let them become God. And so joining us is Darwin Boedeker. Darwin, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. Glad to be on.
We're about to go to break, but when did HEB call you?
They actually called me, a lady called me today and wanted to know why I created all this. They said they're having a threat of boycott against HEB.
That's like if a woman gets raped. It's like, why were you walking out of work at 8 o'clock at night, lady? I mean, that's the same. That's the same. Or somebody gets mugged or somebody gets robbed. You're the person that's been basically ruined by this. But no, you are the bad one. You are bad. How dare you not lick boots properly? We'll be right back. Darwin, stay there. Darwin Boedeker is standing up. He came in to take over a gun show in Austin that had been here for more than 15 years. They didn't tell him they'd run that group out. They didn't even know they'd run them out. And they said, you're not going to allow private sales, which is a big part of his business, which is totally legal. They threatened the leaseholder, HEB, and told him to make him do this. Mr. Boedeker posted the sign, but then got a petition going to the state attorney general. Then the police put pressure on HEB to just end all gun shows at that location. They told him no more gun shows, not just you. It's over. It's over. And I guess they'll harass anybody else that tries to get another location. Now, local TV stations are going to interview the police, and there's no debating the facts. We need to make sure KVUE and others don't spin this. The article is Obama administration shuts down oldest gun show in Central Texas. And they are the ones that ran this. The BATFE, the ATF, is the subdivision of that. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives. Police under the direction of ATF told the event Boedeker he would be required to follow their recommendations or they would close down his event. Boedeker said he was told, you do what we say or we shut you down. He said the ultimatum was recorded by police and ATF. So the news needs to now demand that video because... Well, no, let's let them lie to the media first and then get the video through subpoena, or they'll say it malfunctioned. Mr. Boedeker indicated enforcing the ATF recommendations would destroy his business. He said he would not issue a public notice unless it indicated the so-called recommendations were issued by the Austin police and ATF. And the ATF said, yes, that's good, do that. And this has now happened. And so he decided to stand up, so HEB called him this morning and said it's over. Now, Austin police, this is illegal. What the ATF did violates, there's no statutes to do this, no statutory authority. It's clearly racketeering. It's clearly corruption. It's clearly they've damaged him financially. It's clearly color of law, civil rights violation. I mean, they have really done it. But if they get away with it, the precedent is set. And what they do is they set up stings and fake things. They harass gun shops and gun shows out of business everywhere. Tennessee's moving to do the same thing. But this is without a law, without anything. So let's go to Darwin Boedeker to break down, recap what happened, and then now the latest developments. And KVUE, you talked to them this morning. They're going over to interview the Austin Police Department. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I got a call from Andrew, the manager of the North Austin Event Center yesterday, and he said that he got a phone call from HEB saying that our shows were over. So due to the arrest this past Saturday, that they couldn't afford to allow us to have the shows in there.
Which wasn't arrest. They just put a guy in handcuffs. Now the number's 20 minutes and let him go, and he went back into the show.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's a matter of, trying to convince HEB to either, allow us to have a show in there again or trying to find a new location with, 20 or 19 days, 20 days to go before our next show.
So you capitulate to the arm twisting, post it, but then stand up and say we're going to do a petition to the Attorney General because local governments can't just make up imaginary things without laws. Now, you got a call from HEB this morning. Tell us who called you.
Yeah, it was a lady named Natalie. She called from HEB there in Austin and wanted to know why. She said that what she heard was I said that HEB agreed to do stings, agreed with the Austin PD and the ATF to do stings in my gun show, which is absolutely not true. I would never agree to such a thing. And she said that people are wanting to start an anti-HEB, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Anti-HEB campaign. And she asked me why I would do that, and I said, well, it's not me. And then I said it was the representative that you sent, that HEB sent to this meeting, saying that basically when he folded, he looked at me, and he was the only one there with power of authority to allow me not to have a show, that I had to follow these recommendations or there'd be no show. I go, that was on him and his choice, and that's why this stuff is happening to HEB. It has nothing to do with me. And she said, well, we would at least appreciate a phone call or something like that before you went on the radio. And I told her, well, I would appreciate a phone call or a heads up before they invited me into a meeting the day before the show.
But see how they're making it that you're bad? I'm surprised they don't just say it's a conspiracy theory and the gun show never even existed. And Grandpa says there used to be a gun show there, and the kids laugh and say, Grandpa says people used to own guns. That's the attitude that they have. They shut down your business. They unlawfully come in, order HEB to do this. You were at the meeting. And now it's clear that they've intimidated them into just getting rid of your contract. This is outrageous. And then you're the bad guy, and we hadn't even made HEB the bad guy in all this.
I know, and that's what I tried to explain to her. I said, if you listen to the interview that I had with you yesterday, never once did I say HEB was the bad guy.
And neither did I, but here's the issue. They can't say the police are wrong. They can't say it's wrong that they just came in like thugs and made all this up and made your leaseholder. You know what happens if I go to a business and talk to a leaseholder and make them lose their lease? I can be sued up one side and down the other. What other businesses will the police come in and take over? I'll tell you. In Seattle, it's a major scandal that in some areas of the city, more than half of the bars are owned by police because they would go in and run stings of selling their own agent drugs and then asset forfeiture seize the bar or restaurant and then keep it for themselves. This is I guess we're going the Chicago, Seattle model.
Yeah, the good news out of all this is since the show yesterday, I've received tons of emails, people saying that they couldn't make it to the show, but they would support us anyway, even if they bought complimentary tickets or something online just to show their support. So, that's a good feeling knowing that there's so many people out there that... And
you're going to try to get into another venue, but let's not talk about that right now or the cops will run and try to defame you and destroy you there. They're getting deeper into trouble. And if I know these Austin police, they're going to savagely attack now. I could be raided any minute with setups or whatever. Because they are the mafia, they rule, end of the story. But these people are dangerous, but they're lawless, but continue.
Well, yeah, and basically I try to explain to her. She said that it was unfair for me to have a boycott set up against HEB because...
So she wouldn't even listen to you. You explained to her, but still, you are the bad one. Not the police starting all this, not the feds ordering it. You are the bad one as the victim.
Exactly.
Because she cannot say the government's bad because it is God.
Yeah, and I try to, she goes, well, normally I have these meetings face-to-face, and I told her I'd be more than willing to set up a meeting with her face-to-face, but I wouldn't be there alone this time like the first meeting I had. So that's basically where it ended.
Well, what's the answer here? Should we have people, contact the main line for HEB? The toll-free number?
I think the best course of action would be to get in contact with Brett Baker, the gentleman that supposedly headed the meeting to get us, to not allow us to have a show anymore, and persuade him to. The best course of action would to be allow us to still do the show as scheduled in that building.
Well, do you understand it's illegal for police outside of the law to come into people's businesses and get them shut down with their leaseholders?
Absolutely.
they're not. This is a serious mafia crime they've committed. But to them, they just think it's funny.
Yeah, they think they're doing something right, I guess, on their end. But
yeah, because they can't get the legislature to pass a law, so they'll just shut it down because they're God.
And the ironic thing is the arrests they have made at other gun shows, they've made those arrests because there was a gun show going on, because they actually knew where the people would be. Unlike if there was no show, they'd be behind them in an alley somewhere, and they'd have no idea where it was going on.
And gun shows have been over backwards where the cops don't even ask. They just wander into the back door, do whatever they want. Not good enough. Mission completed. Gun show shut down after close to 20 years. Now, is HEB making noises about letting you do your show?
Well, no. We got off the phone. I told her I would meet with them.